Imagine you're playing Nier Automata and suddenly realize you've fallen in love with 2B. You're watching Cyberpunk 2077 and think, wow, what an incredible world. You see Fischl and Genshin and laugh because she's just too epic. And now the most important question that almost no one asks, who actually drew these girls? They weren't created by designers in the offices of Square Enix, CD Projekt, or MI Hoyo. They were stolen, right off the streets, from basements, from conventions, from MySpace, from TikTok, from 80s goth clubs. Today I'm going to tell you a true, slightly crazy story about subcultures secretly took over the animation and gaming industries and are still deciding what the heroines of the next 10 years will look like. Let's start in 1975, Japan. The country had only just recovered from the war. Young people felt lost, and then they found solace in thin sketchbooks filled with drawings. They began to live in manga. They were the first to truly fall in love with drawn girls. They coined the word waifu. They began drawing fan art at night. They created the first conventions. And it was they who gave us what modern games and anime simply cannot exist without. Huge eyes that convey every emotion, vibrant hair, in every color of the rainbow magical girls who transform an emotional connection to a character stronger than with many real people. Without otaku, there would be no Sailor Moon, no Persona, no Genshin Impact, and no 90% of gacha games. They were the first to say, a drawn girl can be more real than a living one. And studios simply took that idea and turned it into billions. In 1977, something completely different exploded onto the scene in Britain. Young people shouted, "We hate this world," and ripped their clothes, stuck pins in them, dyed their hair black, and sported mohawks. A little later, they were joined by the goths, those who decided that beauty could only be found in darkness, tragedy, and lace. And here's what happened. Studios saw this aesthetic and stole it. That's exactly why 2B wears an eye patch and a short black dress. That's why Lady Maria from Bloodborne looks like a gothic princess who died 300 years ago. Punk and goth taught the industry the golden rule. The best heroine is one who is beautiful and broken at the same time. In the 1980s, a few writers and artists envisioned a future where the rain never stops and the sky glows pink. They called it Cyberpunk. And here's the most interesting part. Studios didn't just borrow the idea, they borrowed the entire visual language. Neon, rain, Japanese kanji, leather jackets, implants, thief corporations. Without Cyberpunk, there would be no Cyberpunk 2077, no Ghost in the Shell, and no Edge Runners. They literally stole the future from the writers and turned it into the game we play today. In Japan in the late 1990s, a group of girls emerged who decided to dress like porcelain dolls from Victorian fairy tales, but in black and with a gothic vibe. They walked the streets of Harajuku, looking as if they had stepped out of another world. Studios stole this image again. That's why many characters in Genshin and Honkai have lace details, bows, and a "I'm a doll but with a soul" vibe. And then the internet came along, and everything changed for good. Girls just started drawing hearts under their eyes, dyeing their hair neon and wearing chokers. And the studio said again, wow, this works. That's why right now in Valorant, Fortnite, League, and Overwatch 2, half of the female skins are pure e-girls. They aren't even trying to hide it. They just took the style from TikTok and made it part of the game. This is the first subculture to be born entirely online, and to completely take over the industry.